Morning, everyone. So for my talk this morning, I'm going to give you some stress reduction techniques based on principles of Chinese medicine. And then during my breakout session, I will teach you some acupressure points that are very commonly used for many, many symptoms that can develop. And I plan to speak for maybe only 10 minutes this morning, and then we'll also have an experiential session with some Qigong meditation, so we can really get your Qi flowing and you can experience what it feels like to be very relaxed and present. So we've all experienced stress. We know what it feels like. We've all felt like this cartoon character before, where we've just felt overwhelmed. But many of us haven't really thought about what is stress, what is the real definition of stress. So according to Psychology Today, stress is simply a reaction to the stimulus that disturbs our physical and mental equilibrium. We may not be able to control the stressors in our world, but we can alter our reactions to them. And that really is key, is that stress is really how our mind perceives stimulus. So it's completely controllable in how our body reacts to it. So there are multiple types of stress or stressors. So they're like physical stressors, such as driving, flying, chemical stressors, pesticides, or smoking, alcohol. Those are some of the most common. Emotional, mental stressors like sadness, grief, stress, overstudying, overthinking. Kids who are in school, they're constantly thinking so much these days, and that does put stress on the body. And nutritional stressors, all of the, if someone has like food allergies or food intolerances or vitamin mineral deficiencies, that adds additional stress. There's traumatic stress, most commonly what we think of. Any surgeries, illnesses, and infection, anytime we injure ourselves, there's inflammation there. That adds extra stress onto the body. And then there's the social, spiritual stress. Many of those we don't think about. Happy times like marriage, changing jobs, starting a new job. That's all part of stress, even though it's considered a good stress. It creates stress on the body. So how stress affects the body, as you can see by the graphic, it affects the whole entire body, not just one part. It really starts in the brain and the hypothalamus, this whole cascade of stress and how it affects the body. So you'll have your common physical symptoms such as headaches, neck pain, neck tension. Those are some of the most common that we see, but we can also think of all the digestive problems, IBS. Under a lot of stress, a lot of people will have diarrhea, loose stools. So you can think of the digestive. Constant stress, chronic stress can also weaken the immune system. So it makes you more susceptible to colds, flus, infections, or even allergies. And for women, the stress affects our hormones. So can have more PMS symptoms or more problematic or symptomatic menopause. So those are, and also most commonly stress can cause a lot of muscle and joint pains. So today I wanted to talk more about what we can do to reduce stress and go back into the ancient times. Chinese medicine was developed about 4,000 years ago. And back then, they constantly looked to nature to figure out life, to keep everything balanced. And back then, we didn't have as much stressors. So the key to good health, according to Chinese medicine, is for everything to be in balance and, not to overdo things. and to keep moving, not to underdo things, just to create a sense of balance in the body and keep that equilibrium at balance. A quote from a Chinese proverb, "He who takes medicine and neglects diet wastes the skills of his doctor." So this is saying that, yes, there are medications out there, but it's not the medication that's going to be the cure-all. It's diet, it's lifestyle, it's a whole collaboration that needs to happen for someone to be really healthy. So the first thing I want to focus on, and probably one of the most important, is sleep. And these days, so many people have insomnia. They're having sleep problems. And in terms of Chinese medicine, we look at back to nature for sleep and ideas to help us sleep. So we look to the seasonal rhythms. So for instance, wintertime is the time where we have the most amount of darkness. So that's the time where we should be sleeping longer because it's darker, it's colder. And then summertime is the complete opposite of that. We have the most amount of sunlight, so we should be moving more. We should be awake more during those times. So with Chinese medicine, no matter what season it is, the most important time to be asleep is from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. And that's because that is the time where we say your shen, your heart, your spirit, needs to be relaxed. It needs to rejuvenate. All the blood in your body needs to return to its proper organs so it can be rejuvenated in the body. And that all happens between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. So people who are night owls or work off shifts, like a third shift, they're throwing off this natural balance of the body trying to restore itself and bring itself back to equilibrium. So one of the best ways to think about helping with sleep would be to, follow the day and night cycles. So if you think about back in the old times, they only had candlelight. So at nighttime, everything was pretty dim. And they didn't have electricity, didn't have a lot of stimulation like we do now. So that way the brain was already starting to relax, get ready for sleep. So for our times now, since we have electricity, and most people will, before they go to bed, sit and watch TV or they're on their computers. We see all the research studies come out now how the blue light off of the screens and monitors are affecting the brain and they're contributing to insomnia. So in order to help with this, what you can do is to make your bedroom your sanctuary. If you go to a spa, spas are always generally pretty dark inside, pretty dimly lit. They're very warm and cozy. And they make you feel really good, make you feel really safe. So if you can create this same feeling in your bedroom, then that will greatly improve your sleep. So the main things you want to do is to remove the TV from your bedroom and try and remove any and almost all electronic devices. And make sure your alarm clock, if it's an electronic alarm clock, plug it into your wall, make sure it's not directly facing your bed. And then create a sense of that personal safety, making your room nice, warm, cozy place like you would feel at a spa. And then also before you go to bed is to let go of everything that you're thinking about, everything that might be bothering you. So if you're a person who lies awake at night because you're thinking about all the things that you need to do the next day, you're stressed out about that, write those things down on a piece of paper before you get into bed. And that way, your brain will learn to let those things go. Some other techniques would be to do a little bit of meditation, just some deep breathing at night before you go to bed. And all these types of things will help you sleep better at night. So another important concept in Chinese medicine, we emphasize diet. One of my favorite quotes from Hippocrates is that, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. You need to keep in mind that, yes, food is very healing for the body. And back in those ancient times, we only had whole foods. We had fruits, vegetables, we had grains, we had meats from animals. So if you think of eating only what grows from the ground or fed by things, the grains, the grasses that grow in the ground. Because the last time I checked, I've never seen a Twinkie tree. I've never seen a Coke tree. So those things are not natural. They're not whole foods. So going back to whole foods and eating the way we used to do in ancient times. But not only that, but also with your foods, eating according to the seasons. Now, because we get so many imported foods from all different countries, we can have watermelon all year long. But if you really think about it, watermelon's true season is summertime. And that's because watermelon is very effective food for cooling the body. So summertime is the perfect time and the right time to be eating watermelon so you can naturally cool yourself down. Because remember, back in the ancient times, there were no air conditioners. So they did it with food. In the wintertime, it's cooler, so you want a lot more cooked foods, a lot more warming foods. So a lot of soups and stews, a lot of ginger and peppers, curries, all those are very warming. Lamb is a very, very hot meat, so eating lamb during wintertime. Don't eat it during summertime. And then also too, balancing the flavors of all your foods is very important. This day and age, we tend to mostly eat sweet foods and salty foods. I don't know how many of my patients, especially people who have diabetes, you ask them what they eat, they're all sweet foods, and then I ask them, well, can you eat kale or greens? And they'll say, no, they're too bitter. I don't like bitter flavors. And there are more and more studies out how the bitter flavor is actually very, very healing to the body in a lot of diseases. So to balance all your tastes, flavors, so in our society we need to add more bitter flavors. We need to add a little bit more sour foods. So just try and keep everything in balance. And then also, we tend to overeat, right? We're the supersized nation. So you really only want to eat till you're about 70% full. You don't want to feel overstuffed, okay? Because that will make you feel very tired. And then you want to eat with regularly scheduled meals. You try not to vary the times that you're eating by an hour or so, just to keep everything stabilized and balanced. And then in terms of exercise, I know right now there's a big push for how great exercise is and how much exercise we should do. And some people do cardio every day, they work out every day. But really, when we go back to Chinese medicine, and this quote comes from the Yellow Emperor, which is one of the Bibles of acupuncture. The quote says, "Long periods of standing impairs the bones. Protracted watching injures the blood. Lying in bed for a long time injures the qi. Excessive walking injures the tendons. And sitting for a long time impairs the muscles." And basically, that summarizes that it's all about moderation, right? Sitting too much injures the body, but overworking out can also injure the body. And as I said before, that it creates a lot of stress on the body. So do everything in moderation. Try not to be too excessive one way or the other. And the last thing to focus on is balancing the mind, body, and spirit. And the ways that this can be done would be through meditation, qigong, tai chi, yoga, acupuncture, massage. These are just some of the ideas out there. All of these techniques get you breathing. It gets your body in a more relaxed state. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system. So therefore, it's going to de-stress the body a little bit. And some of the benefits for your body being in balance, your mind, body, spirit being in balance, is that you're finally going to be fully present to really experience life. There are a lot of people that are just running around day after day, and life is just flying by them. But if they sat back and thought about it, they've never actually really experienced life. So they are missing out on a lot of life experiences because they're just letting everything fly by them. And this also will help boost the immune system, make you more resistant to colds and flus. It will greatly improve concentration, because I know a lot of people complain about having a foggy head, not being able to concentrate. It reduces sleep. It will also, again, help improve sleep, because you're breathing, you're relaxing. It will reduce pain, and then also create a sense of happiness, a sense of well-being, and that will bring your life back into balance, and you will feel just happier with your life and more fulfilled. And then this is just a quote from Lao Tzu, who is a famous Chinese philosopher. And his quote is, "If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you're living in the future. And if you are at peace, then you are living in the present." And I hope today I gave you a little bit of ideas that will help you to live more in the present, and so you can be more at peace and feel less stressed out. Because our worlds are very, very, very stressful these days. So now I want to do an experiential session for you. We'll do a little bit of Qigong moving meditation, so we can get you breathing, get you moving a little bit. We'll build up your qi, because in Chinese medicine, qi is your life force. It's the energy in your body, and you want to keep that qi flowing so that you don't have pain, you won't have disease. And then also building up the qi, because when your qi is depleted, you feel fatigued, you have poor digestion. So as was already stated, trying to build the qi and move the qi. All right, so let me just have you sit forward on your chairs a little bit, because you want your feet nice, firmly planted on the floor, so you can sit nice and tall. And then if I can have the music. All right, and you want your hands to be free, so just put everything down. We're just going to relax, do some deep breathing. All right, so check in with your bodies right now, sitting up nice and tall. All right, relax any tension that you're feeling. Check in, make sure you have no tension in your neck or your shoulders. And then let me just have you rub your hands together very gently, bringing that qi into your hands, feeling warmth come back into your hands. And then when your hands are nice and warm, go ahead and just gently lay them onto your abdomen. So your hands are probably feeling a little tingly right now. That's your qi, that's your energy. So just take an inhale, breathe into your hands, into your lower abdomen, and then exhale, blowing it out. So taking an inhale again, so breathing it in through your nose or mouth, doesn't matter, and exhale, blowing it out. And inhaling again, and exhale, blowing it out. And do 2 more deep breaths, so taking an inhale, and exhale, blowing it out. And 1 more time, so taking an inhale, and exhale, blowing it all out. now let me have you rub your hands together again. Gather more chi back into your hands. And now go ahead and hold your hands a couple inches apart from each other. You can hopefully feel a little bit tingling and maybe feel a tension between your two hands. Feel like there's an energy field there. That's a chi field. That is your energy field. Now you know how to generate more chi. So now we all know what chi feels like, because everything in this world has chi. We each have our own different chi, our own different energies. Right, so now you're going to take your hands and just inhale, let your arms float up over your head. You're going to gather the chi from the heavens, and then exhale, let it float back down. Send it down through the top of your head, through your spine, into your body. Up. And exhale, floating back down. Bringing heaven's chi all the way down into your body. And a couple more times. Inhale, arms float up. So they should float up with absolutely no tension. Just floating on a cloud. Letting it float back down. And 2 more times. Inhale, arms just float up. And exhale as it floats back down. And 1 more time. Inhale, arms float up. So chi from the heavens, send it down through your spine, through your whole body. And now let your arms keep going a little bit lower, because now you're going to go gather the chi from the ground, from the earth, and bring it up through your feet. And then just only go about halfway, and then your arms go back down. So check in with your body again. Are you sitting up nice and tall? Relaxing any tension. And then exhale as it floats back down. Times. Inhale, gathering earth's chi, sending it into your body, your spine, and floating it back down. And 2 more times. Inhale, arms float up. And exhale as you float them back down. And 1 more time. Inhale, arms float up. And then exhale, floating back down. Gather the chi from the earth, and this time send it all the way back up, so you're connecting it with the chi from the heaven, sending it into man, so that we're connecting heaven, man, and earth. Do it 1 more time, gathering the chi from the earth, setting it up in the body, and then exhale, gathering the chi from the heavens and sending it back down. Go ahead and bring your hands back to your lower abdomen. That's called your dantian. That's your chi center. And just take a couple breaths there again, breathing into your hands, taking an inhale, and exhale, blowing it out. And inhaling again, and exhale, blowing it out. And 1 more time, inhale, breathing in, and exhale, blowing it out. Let me have you just rub your hands together. Warm your hands back up. Keep sitting up nice and tall. And this time, bring your hands just in front of your face, a couple of inches away from your face, sending your chi into your face, into your brain. Wipe your hands up over your head, sending it throughout your brain, through the back of the neck, and over the head. And one more time, arms reach up, circling up and over the head. And then bring your arms back down to your lower abdomen. This time, let me just have you gently close your eyes and take a couple breaths there. So taking an inhale, breathing into your hands, sitting on your lower abdomen. Exhale, blowing it out. Inhale, breathing into the abdomen. Exhale, blowing it out. And one more time, inhale, breathing into your lower abdomen. And exhale, blowing it all out. And gently relax your hands. And then go ahead and open your eyes. Hopefully you all feel a little more grounded, a little more centered, a little relaxed. So now you are fully present here today, right now, living in the present times, and you can really enjoy and take in everything that we're offering you today. So thank you.